The 1974 Bangladesh famine stands as one of the most significant humanitarian crises in South Asia's recent history. While many initially attributed the famine solely to natural disasters, academic research reveals a more complex web of political, economic, and environmental factors that contributed to this devastating event. The immediate trigger for the famine came from severe monsoon flooding in 1974, which devastated large areas of Bangladesh. According to studies, these floods created the initial shock to the food supply system. However, the flooding alone doesn't tell the complete story. The young nation of Bangladesh, just 3 years after its independence, was already struggling with significant economic challenges. The government had implemented expansionary economic policies following independence, which research suggests contributed to the underlying conditions that made the famine possible. The impact on human life was severe and long-lasting. Mortality rates during the famine period increased by 62% compared to normal times, with the most vulnerable populations bearing the heaviest burden. Children and the elderly were particularly affected, and demographic studies show that the famine's effects on infant and child mortality persisted well beyond the immediate crisis period. The political response to the famine revealed significant institutional weaknesses. Research indicates that international aid efforts were complicated by political considerations, particularly in relations with the United States, which reportedly used food aid as a lever for political pressure. This political dimension added another layer of complexity to the crisis response. Nobel laureate Amartya Sen's influential analysis of the famine highlighted that the crisis wasn't simply about food availability, but about access to food. Studies show that while food stocks existed, many people lacked the purchasing power to acquire adequate nutrition. This economic aspect of the famine has become a crucial part of understanding how modern famines can occur, even when food is technically available. The 1974 famine prompted significant changes in Bangladesh's approach to food security and disaster management. Later research comparing the 1974 famine to subsequent floods in 1984 showed how the country had evolved from famine response to more sophisticated food crisis management systems. The famine's impact extended far beyond its immediate time frame, influencing Bangladesh's development policies and shaping international understanding of famine dynamics. It demonstrated that famines in the modern era are not simply natural disasters, but complex socio-economic phenomena requiring equally sophisticated prevention and response mechanisms. This tragic episode in Bangladesh's history continues to offer important lessons about the intersection of environmental vulnerability, economic policy, and political response in managing food security crises. It underscores the critical importance of robust institutions and proactive policy measures in preventing similar catastrophes in the future.